we talk about the fights. I saw a video on your social media of your son beating up a Peppa Pig. What's up with that?
Beating up Peppa Pig?
Yeah.
He beats up everything. He's just at that age right now. He's, since he was born, he's been watching me train at the gym, watching me and my wife work out in the basement, me holding mitts for her, so he always wants to come up and do the same thing.
So in 20 years, maybe we have a lot of Lamas in the UFC.
We'll see. I'm not going to push him into it. If it's something he wants to do, then for sure I'll support it.
Are you the type of fighter that maybe wants him to avoid this word, knowing that MMA is not an easy word and not an easy career? Or you know that if you're good at it, you can have a good life?
I definitely want him to know the martial arts and know how to defend himself if he ever needs to. But it's not something that you can push anybody into. You have to be born to want to do this. So time will tell and we'll see. Of course, I'd rather see him do something else. But if this is what makes him happy, then I'll help him with it.
Is this your first time fighting outside of North America? Is it different having to adapt to a long flight and time difference and all that?
The time difference isn't that bad. It's only 3 hours. The flight was okay. The only thing that I have to get used to is I didn't know here in South America they put the fights on very late. So I'm going to be fighting at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm just trying to stay up later at night to get used to being up at that time.
When did you find out that your fight was going to be at 2 a.m.?
Like right before I left to come to Argentina.
What are you doing to make sure that doesn't affect you in the fight?
Just stay up late at night, sleep in the morning, and make sure that I'm kind of active around the same time of my fight.
Was it surprising for you that they booked these fights here in Argentina? 2 guys from Chicago fighting so away from home.
No, I mean when we talked to the UFC, I wanted to be on this card, and it just so happened that Darren ended up being my opponent. So
why did you want to be here in this fight?
Why did
in this card? Yeah, why?
Because it's a historic card, first time in Argentina. I love fighting in Latin America. I fought in Mexico 3 times, and I liked being a part of that. And now I get to experience a new Latin American country. So any chance I can get to do stuff like that, I would love to do it.
And fighting out, what are your thoughts on this matchup for you?
I think it's a great matchup. Darren is a dangerous guy. I know him. We've trained together in the past. So it's going to be a great fight for everybody to watch.
The fact that you trained together, did it help you anyway, or it was such a long time ago that doesn't really mean anything? Right?
I treat it as a business. So I kind of put it out of my head that we know each other until after the fight. When the fight's done, we'll go back to being friends. But for now, it's just business as usual.
But in terms of getting ready for a fight, having trained with him, did that gives you any tips, anything that you got to learn from training with him that's going to be useful in the fight?
No, because it was quite a few years ago, so I'm sure his game has changed, and I don't want to rely on anything that's happened in the past or whatever. So I just concentrated on getting better myself this camp and really focusing on what I need to do to get the win.
He was always a tough fighter, but he had an impressive run as of late. Do you expect this fight to be a 3-round war like the ones he has been putting in the UFC?
Of course, yeah. With a fighter like Darren, you can't expect any less. He always comes forward, and I think it's going to be a good fight.
You were not too far away from a title shot last year. Do you think that a win over him Saturday puts you back in the position that you were before your last fight?
It puts me back on the right path. I need to put another win streak together and beat some top 10, top 5 opponents, and then we can talk about title shots.
Jose Aldo, you are set to rematch him. It's a fight that I imagine you want him so bad. But that fight fell apart. He doesn't have an opponent right now. Is that a fight that would interest you? Maybe get a big win Saturday and ask for that one since he's waiting for a new opponent.
Before thinking about any other fight, I have a challenge in front of me right now, so I'm not thinking ahead of Darren.
Yeah, you're both coming off pretty heartbreaking losses recently. How does that weigh on you, on your mentality? Is it a chance for revenge to make up for the losses, or is it a time to recover little by little? How are you taking this fight in regards to that?
It's motivated me to train even harder for this camp. So I know that those last 2 fights, I could have performed a lot better than I did. So it's motivated me to train harder and to really perform this time.
If you could name one adjustment that you focused on making for this particular fight, is there anything that you worked any harder than anything else?
Not harder, just fixing little things here and there that needed to be fixed. So I think you'll just see a lot of improvements in my stand-up, my ground, everything all together.
You had a pretty good undefeated streaks before those losses. It seems like those losses were not, I would say, an accident, but a setback a little bit. Did you feel the same way, or do you feel that you got careless, or some other circumstance led you to those losses?
Every win, every loss is a part of the journey. I don't see it as a setback or a step forward. It's just a part of my story, and I just continue to move forward no matter what. So the wins and the losses come. You just have to learn from both and keep moving forward.
And finally, for me, what do you expect in terms of the crowd for a first night in Argentina? You've been part of this for a long time. You've traveled a lot. What do you expect from the crowd, from the people, from the environment on Saturday night?
I think it's going to be a great environment. I think people are going to be very rowdy on the night of the fight, and I'm going to love the energy that's going to be in the arena.
Just the last one for me. There's talk of the UFC maybe getting rid of the flyweight division. What are your thoughts on this possibility if it really happens next year in the UFC?
I think it's unfortunate. I think there are a lot of great fights in that flyweight division, and I think these guys, don't deserve to all just be cut from the UFC. So I hope they figure something out. At least, hopefully, one championship takes the whole flyweight division, or we'll see what happens.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.